Hello beer tubers and welcome to yet another announcement video with me, Peter the Master of Puppets. Today, announcing what you saw in the title, I'm going to Japan next year. Man, I'm excited. So, let's crack a Japanese beer to celebrate. This is the only Japanese beer I could get at the moment, along with Kirin. This is Asahi Super Dry. I wish I could pick up a craft beer from Japan, because we used to get like Baird Brewing and the company that makes the Hitachi no Nest beers, the Koichi Brewery. But those haven't been around in ages. So we're doing a macro Japanese rice lager. Or no, I think it's a corn lager. So this is big news, guys. Japan is probably my number one bucket list country to visit at the moment. I've always been quite fascinated by Asia, especially in terms of cooking and how different the culture is compared to Western Europe. So I've always wanted to go to the Far East, specifically the land of the rising sun. But I've never really, made an effort to try and go, mainly because I thought getting there was really expensive. Found out not too long ago that flights to Japan are not too bad, actually. We're getting a round trip for 6,000 Danish crowns, which is pretty cheap for, at least for going that far. I think it's like a 14-hour flight almost. So it's going to be crazy. So I'm going with a friend of mine. You know him already, Henrik, aka the General of Gusen, and we're going together. And we're going to be going. It's actually going to be just after the Sakura season, unfortunately. We wanted to go during the Sakura season, but we just looked at tickets and what made most sense. So we'll be there over Easter. So we're going to Japan. We're flying out on the 8th of April next year. So 8th of April 2020, and then we will be staying there until I think it's the 22nd or 23rd. I think it's the 22nd that we fly out. So it's about 15 days, and it's going to be pretty crazy. I mean, I'm so excited. Experience a whole new culture, vast array of different foods, and just, of course, also I want to try some Japanese craft beer, visit some craft breweries. I want to check out some of the Japanese distilleries. But before we get into some of it, let's have a crack on Asahi Super Dry. I think I've featured this in some of the Master of Puppets foul beer tastings. This is it's a maize lager. It's a Japanese lager. It's a pale lager. It's 5%, 5.2%. And this bad boy here is brewed at Peroni in Italy because Asahi own the Peroni brewery. So instead of having it brewed in Japan and shipping all the way over here, it's brewed at Peroni. And it says it's made with water malt, barley, hops, yeast, but also cornstarch, maize, and rice. And according to what I could figure out online, Super Dry was an attempt to make a beer that tasted less like malt, that didn't have a lot of sweet malt character, so they made a beer with rice and maize, as it has less flavor. I can smell from here that it's skunked, even though it's one of those olive green bottles it looked like. But yeah, it's a little bit skunked, but it's not too bad. It's almost as light smelling as like the American light lagers. Let's just give it a taste. It's just a bit of fun drinking a Japanese beer, announcing this. Okay, it's not really skunked on the flavor, but it's super mild. Actually, that's not half bad. I thought it would be much worse. It actually has a bit of hop character, like a bit of a grassy, peppery hop character. But it tastes a lot like what you'd expect. A little bit of a sweetish, grainy, I don't know if I'd say ricey flavor, but maybe more like cornflakes. Since it's also made with maize, that has like this corny thing. But hey, it's one of those beers. It's not going to be as good as some of the craft beer made in Japan. So, as I said, we're going to be there from the 8th to the 22nd or so. And our plan is to travel a bit. We got this Japan travel pass, which will let us, for 2 weeks, we're going to be there 15 days. No, actually, we're going to arrive flying there and back, whatever, will be 15 days, but we'll be there about 14 days in Japan, a little less. But this pass will let you travel all you want in Japan with the bullet trains and whatnot, just to get around the country and see things, which is very affordable because it's much cheaper than buying your just like train tickets in Japan, because apparently public transport in Japan, at least with the bullet trains, is quite expensive, but it's one of the easiest way to get around to the different cities. So we're gonna start off in Tokyo, which is where we're gonna spend the first few days, and I've already been in talks with an old school beer tuber. If some of you guys remember Yuichi Tuba or Beerichi Tuba, he lives in Japan right now, and we talked about meeting up because I met him way back. It was 2012 when I was in the States to study. We met up in San Francisco when he was living there. So we're gonna try and meet up with him in Tokyo because he lives in Tokyo, and then the plan is from Tokyo to, I can't remember if it's Osaka first or Kyoto. It's one of the two. I think it's Kyoto, yeah. And after Kyoto, it's Osaka. And then we're going to do probably a day trip to Kobe, just to see Kobe and try Kobe beef. And then we're going to go to Hiroshima maybe, and then back to Tokyo. Hiroshima is a maybe, because it might just be Osaka and Kyoto in the area around there, and then back to Tokyo, because it's only 2 weeks, so we don't have as much time to spend there. But man, I am so freaking stoked. This is pretty much my 30th birthday present to myself, because I've always wanted to go to Japan. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm going to try and film a lot of stuff. I want to do some different food videos and things like that, because it's just something really different. I'm going to try and do beer stuff too, but I don't know anything pretty much about Japanese breweries or where they're located or anything. I'm pretty sure there are some around in the bigger cities and whatnot, but I'll have to do some research. And I hope to meet up with some of you guys, because I do know I have a following in Japan as well. So it'd be pretty fun to meet up with someone or anyone who lives there or who's been there, who has like good recommendations in terms of food, things to go see, things to do, whatnot. We're still planning. It's far ahead in time, so we're still looking up what we want to do, and nothing is set in stone yet, just the travel dates. But man, it's going to be fucking great. I can't wait. So yeah, that was actually just what I wanted to talk about, going to Japan. And a small brief, like more info about traveling, because I'm going to be in Germany again. So I announced that I would be in Stuttgart for Sponsor Day. Well, I'm actually going to Germany again in, is it 2 weeks from now or so? Something like that. For, let's see, oh, this is May. Whoop. So it's in November. It's for Baubeviale, so it's 3 weeks or so from now. So Baubeviale is in Nuremberg. I'm going with work, and we're going to be staying in Bamberg, and then we're going to go to Nuremberg and back to Bamberg with the train. That's the idea. But we're going to be there from Tuesday the 12th until Friday the 15th in Germany. And yeah, we're going to try and check out some breweries and whatnot. I'm going to bring my camera. I might be going to Schlenkerla and film there. Still talking to the guys. It's my favorite Rauchbier producer. Who wouldn't want to go? Of course I want to go. So yeah, a small trip to southern Germany. And then in December, I also have a weekend trip to Germany, to Hamburg. And I haven't been to Hamburg in ages, but from the 6th to the 8th of December, I'm going to be in Hamburg. So also looking for recommendations in Hamburg for stuff to check out. So a good amount of traveling, lots of Germany, but the big thing, freaking Japan, guys. I can't wait. This is going to be so good. Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to eat myself poor, I think. But that's going to be great. So if you guys have any recommendations or comments and whatnot, if you guys, know a restaurant, know a great touristy thing to visit, whatever, just any recommendations, I'd love to hear them. Please let me know, and stay tuned for videos from all these trips in the futures. Maybe we'll see about Hamburg. I might try and shoot something. We'll see. But thanks for watching, and as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and cheers in Asahi Super Dry. And see you guys in another beer review.